If you're somebody who needs $10,000 fast, like in 2 weeks, in this video, I want to show you two different ways where you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks that's legal. Because anything that I share with you in this video and anything on this channel, I want you to assume that it's 100% legal because I don't want to get shut down or sued or anything like that. But in this video, I want to show you two specific ways on how you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks. And here's the thing. You can take either of these strategies or both of these strategies, and you can do them beyond 2 weeks and make a full-time income if you choose to. Now, both of these strategies, I've actually done both of them myself for various reasons. Some of them were inspiration, if I'm honest, and some of them were desperation, if I'm honest. But either way, they can actually work for you. So and this is no specific order, but one way where you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks is through real estate. Now, before you cut this video off, hear me out now. I'm not talking about like a traditional real estate investor or like a traditional like real estate agent or something like that. This is totally different. This is where you can make money without having any of your own money involved, and you do not have to be some kind of guru or an expert. How do you do this? Well, in real estate, people lose real estate every single day for multiple reasons. Typically, it's because of death. Somebody died and somebody inherited a property. They didn't want it. They let it to go, to taxes, or they just abandoned it for whatever reason or whatever. People get divorced. They just want to be done. Like, they don't want any money from it. They just want to be disconnected from anything associated with that other person that they was in a relationship with. So they will like pretty much give real estate away without being responsible for the maintenance and the upkeep longer term if they could just get it off of their hands. And the other last reason that's very typical is distress. People can be in a house for 10, 20 years, and for whatever reason, they might lose their job or income decrease, or they get some kind of other bill and they can't maintain this mortgage how they used to. And the one thing that a lot of people in these situations are really focused on maintaining is their credit. So a lot of people in this last situation, they're willing to get out of their home just to maintain their credit. So look, if they know forehand, like, look, I can't pay 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the line. And before I lose it, let me figure out a way how I can get out of it. Now, typically, no matter where you are in the world, if you've been in your house or somebody's been in their house for 20 years, they have equity in their home. And so in the United States, something that's typical is called a subject to. And so a subject to is just you agreeing to like take over somebody's mortgage and take over the responsibility of their home. And you could either A, give them, a certain amount of money, or B, just take it over, period. Now, I've done this before where I took over somebody's payments. I gave them $2,500 and they were happy. They maintained their credit. They just got out of it. They wasn't responsible for it anymore. And they got money to walk away with. Now, when I bought that property, I walked in it with equity, and I kept it for about 5 years. And after about 5 years, I sold it. And I made let's just say I made a good amount of money from it, and I was making monthly income as well. And so that same property that I bought, just by giving somebody $2,500, this is something that you can do, and you don't have to put in any of your own money. Now, how does that work in this particular situation as well as those others? So when you find somebody who is either in a distress situation, they've gotten divorced, or somebody died and they just want to get rid of the property, sometimes you can approach people and ask them, how much do you want to like not even put it on the market? Because people understand when they put a house on the market, like, you have to like do repairs, maintenance. So sometimes it takes money to even put a house on the market. And sometimes people just don't have the money and they just want to be done. And so you can approach people who are in one of these three situations and ask them, like, how much would you be willing to take just so this doesn't even have to go on the market, period. Now, some people might say, like, listen, if I could just get out of the payment period and just walk away, I'm good with it. In that situation, like, that's a golden opportunity. Either way, whether it's that situation or, somebody that just, wants a certain amount because they just want to be done with it, you can figure out, like, what is that number that they want? And when they tell you whatever that number is, tell them, like, listen, can you give me 2 weeks or either 4 weeks to come up with this amount of money to pay you for it? Now, what you do in this situation is whatever their number is, now you tack in your 10,000. But what I would do is I would put a little bit extra. And what you do is you go to, like, it's a ton of Facebook groups where there's a ton of investors. And these investors, they're looking for off-market properties. And again, this is not something where you have to be an expert in. You don't even have to have a lot of knowledge in this area to make these deals work, because people do it all the time and they're not real estate experts. Like I wasn't when I did it, But what you do is, if at all possible, you can take pictures of this home. And I wouldn't even take a lot of pictures, like just the front of the home, the back of the home, and just like some basic information. Like you don't even have to be very detailed. And I would go to these different Facebook groups and I would post like, this property, very good condition. You could talk about whatever benefits. Hey, it has, $30,000 equity, whatever the case may be. And then you post the price, in this group and say, hey, look, if you're interested, contact me, private message me, whatever the case. But you want to make sure you put your fee on top of that. And again, I would say if you want 10,000, put 15,000, because a lot of these investors, like, they don't want to pay that asking price. They want to feel like they negotiated down. So if you can start at 15 over and then get back down to 10, it's a win-win for you. And a lot of these investors, like, they have cash, and so they can close quick. So even when you say, give me 14 days or 30 days or whatever, you might not even need that time, but it just gives you that ability to go and find investors who's interested in buying that property, and then you can just offload it. And sometimes you don't even need the whole 14 days. And when these investors come in, it's like, that's when you like tell them, hey, like, this is the price. And from that perspective, it's like, now when the investor, goes and pay for this property, now there's, $10,000 extra, $15,000, whatever you add on to it. And now that portion goes to you. So they go and pay this person. And now this person, and they understand, like, hey, this is, what you asked for. And this extra amount was like, that was my fee for getting it. So people don't have a problem with that at all. And it's like, that is a very simple way where you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks. And again, like, I actually know people that actually do that for a living, where, they go and find subject to properties, they go and find distressed properties, or they find people who are divorced and they just want to be done. Like, people do this for a living, like, all the time. And a couple of years ago, when I was doing a lot of real estate investing, I would find these deals all the time, or people would bring me these deals all the time. And you'd be amazed how fast that it can happen. And again, you do not have to be an expert. Now, here's the other thing. If that way is uncomfortable for you, you're just like, look, I don't even know where to begin with that, or, I don't know anybody. And again, I promise you, unfortunately, you know somebody right now, believe it or not, who is in the process of either losing their home, or they're in a financial situation, or they know somebody else who is. So it's all about, like, making what you want known to the people around you, because somebody knows exactly somebody else who's in that situation. However, if you're like, hey, that way is a little bit uncomfortable for me, I don't really want to do that, there's something totally different that you can do, which is more so online focused. If you are on like any kind of social media, whether it's, TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, even LinkedIn to a certain extent, there's people that's running ads all the time. And these people are running ads to you for a specific reason. Now, they might, target you because you might be in their target audience, because you looked at, fitness, or you looked at some kind of program to buy. Like, for whatever reason, they're targeting you. Now, I'm not saying click on all of these ads because it's costing these people money. But what I'm saying is this: when you find people that you actually like their ad, or you like the product that they're selling or something like that, what you can do is click on that ad. That person has information on how to contact them. What you do is, when you see like how many people responding to them and things like that, ask them, if I were to sell more of your product for you, would you give me a cut of that? Like, that's how you can approach them. And here's what you do. Because, like, if anybody's selling something and somebody's willing to sell more of their stuff for them, who's going to say no? Like, no, like, most people are not going to say no, even if you're unknown, because it's really not costing them anything. And so what you do is this. Here's the thing that I also want to just encourage you to focus on. You want to focus on people that are selling things that are a little bit higher price. So like, not like $47, $97, like things that are a little bit higher price, so like minimum like $9.97 and up. And there's a lot of these people that are selling these programs, and some of them are phenomenal, by the way. But you want to find these people and you want to reach out to them and just ask them, are you interested in selling more of these products? Now, obviously, they are, and they might come back with, well, what do you propose, or what do you have, or what are you selling, or whatever. And here's something that you can do. You can literally write emails for these people for them to send to their list. Now, just to make it very safe for them, because they're not going to give you access to their list, you can pre-write like 3 emails that they can send to their list that week. And you can let them know, like, listen, I'm gonna write you something that is very captivating, and it is sure to get a result from your list. And it's maybe something you've never even seen before, but this is something that actually works. And you can write 3 emails. You can put it like in a Google Doc, and you can send them that link to the Google Doc with those 3 emails in it. Now, when they send these 3 emails to their list, if they have something that's a good product, people are typically going to respond to it. Now, if you're not familiar with business, one of the tricky things in business and one of the downfalls where people they're not really good is in follow-up. People are great in front of the camera. They're great in coaching, but people are just not that good in follow-up. And a lot of people don't have systems, even though they have a successful business. And it's like, if they had systems in place, they can make so much more money. Now, a system, that could be you writing emails for them. And when you approach these people and say, like, listen, would you like to make more sales? Of course they would. So you let them know, like, listen, this is a trial basis. I'm going to write 3 emails for you that is sure to get results and probably make you more money than you ever seen in a week before. Now, you want to, just allow them to understand that there's going to be some kind of benefit from it. You write these different emails. You have a great call to action. Hey, in the emails, like every time you write an email, you want to have some kind of call to action, like buy this product, and it's their product, obviously. And you let them know, like, listen, these are just a sample of what I can do. Like, there's a lot more where that came from, and I can get you a lot more results, but this is where we're going to start. And here's what I would like to propose. I would like to propose that every single sale you make with these emails, I would like to get 20%. And most people are going to agree to that, because a lot of people, they just don't have time to write emails, even though it's very, very effective that people can use it. And when you put these 3 emails in a Google Doc or however you want to send them, and then you give them to them and have them send them to their list, and it's like, hey, I just want 20% of the sales that are specific from this specific email sequence that I wrote for you. So you think about this. If people, let's say people have 5,000 people in their list, and that's not a big list at all. So they send 5,000 emails, and if you have something that's $9.97, you got 500 people that buy. That's $1,000 per person, and you're getting 200 of that. So if you get 200 from 500 people, that's $10,000. And it's like, that can happen, I don't want to say instantly because it's not true, but it can happen in a matter of a week where they're just, or even a day. And so it's like, if you go through like the simple process like that, and a lot of people don't even think about like email, how can I get paid to write emails? People do it all the time. Matter of fact, like I have a program where I actually teach people how to make $3,000 to $5,000 every single month just writing emails for people. And it's like, you don't have to find a lot of people to write emails for. Matter of fact, like things that you like, things that you believe in, causes that you care about, things that you actually purchase, it's like you can write emails for people that you've actually invested in. Like that, I mean, and I've done this before. And you can make great money writing emails, But again, these are 2 specific ways that you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks, 14 days, doing something legal. And here's a reality. Even beyond the 2 weeks, if this is something that you want to continue doing, even in addition to whatever else you're doing, you can, because it does not have to hinder or interfere with it. Hey, if you had a job, if you have another business or a side hustle, like you can still do this on the side. And this is almost like partial part-time because it doesn't take a long time at all. But this is specifically 2 ways where you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks. And here's the thing, if you got any value from this video, I want to ask you to hit that like button and consider subscribing. And I want to know from you if there's any other ways that you could think about where you can make $10,000 in 2 weeks legally. Legally is the operative word. Leave it in the comments so we can all benefit from it as well. But I look forward to seeing you in the next video.